Hi everyone, welcome back to Blabbing with Booksellers, a Brighton Waterstones podcast. Thank you all for subscribing and listening to the episode so far. I've been really thrilled with the reception to it. And I'm really excited for this episode today. I'm sat here with one of my favourite people in the store, with Steve, who is a senior bookseller. Surprised you with that, didn't I?
Sorry, did, yeah.
One of my least favourite people in the store. No, one of my favourite people in the store, Steve, who is a really passionate senior bookseller, working primarily on the kids' floor, working with literature for young audiences. But as you'll discover along with me, Steve's tastes are diverse and wide-ranging. And Steve, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, mate. Yeah, very good. Very excited to be asked to be part of this. So
yeah,
thank you.
I am thrilled to have you here. So, firstly, as I mentioned, you work primarily on the kids' floor.
I do.
Talk to me a little bit about your way into that. How did you find yourself working mainly surrounded by kids' literature, and what's your experience of it?
Years and years ago, I worked in another bookshop in Brighton, which is now defunct. I left before it.
Yeah, you weren't at fault.
It wasn't anything to do with me. But then I had kids.
Yeah.
So me and my wife were like, well, who's going to stay off and who's going to go back to work?
Yeah.
So she went back to work
Mm-hmm.
because her earning potential was better than mine.
Sure.
So I did the whole stay-at-home parent thing for years and years and years, which was great. My kids are now grown up. So when I went back to work, I landed on my feet by getting a job at Hurstman Observatory as a tour guide, which was amazing. But a lot of the bread and butter for that place came from school visits.
Sure. Yeah.
That was back in like 2013. I then got a gig with a company that basically... There was a dozen of us in the country. We had inflatable planetariums. Mm-hmm. Planetaria, I think.
Yeah.
And we'd visit schools and like take the kids on trips across the universe and stuff like that. Which,
so great.
Which was just incredible. I mean, I landed that gig. I got paid to talk about space, which is one of my favourite things in the
as we'll tap into for sure.
Favourite things that aren't in the world, because it's all out there.
Yeah.
But to cut a long story short, there was a lot of driving included, and I knew that at some point I was going to get tired.
Yeah.
Then I'd been picking up a few hours here, and then I got a call one day asking me if I wanted to come on board full time and sort of start to steer the kids' floor in a direction that it had sort of drifted away from, to make it a more fun, vibrant, colourful, magical place to be.
Absolutely.
That was a hard decision to make, really hard decision to make.
Because you're giving up a lot of freedom, right?
Giving up a lot of freedom. I was on my own. I was allowed to do what I wanted. I got sent bookings as long as I turned up. Boom. Yeah. But like I said, driving. I was away from home 2 or 3 nights a week a lot. So I decided to take the Waterstones offer.
Amazing.
And
great.
Yeah.
And I really like what you're saying about like the intention of bringing you in was to make the kids' floor creative and interesting and engaging and welcoming and vibrant and all those things. And it's really clear to me when visiting the kids' floor, because I'm not on there a lot, of the job you do with that, and with your experience of kind of performing to children in a educational and engaging way. It's such a good fit, right?
It just seemed to work. Like, oh, okay, this is the next logical step.
Yes.
I'm nearer home. I can actually spend time with my wife, which is nice. But get to use all those skills I built up over like 13, 14 years of working with kids, and then seeing my own 2 grow up. I was like, well, it's natural. It's perfectly natural for me to inhabit this space.
Was there a leap then, because while that is still performing to younger kids and engaging them educationally, was there a leap in terms of like familiarising with new authors and the prominent works and stuff? Because we all have an experience with kids' literature as kids.
Yeah, exactly.
And as parents, you have a renewed interest in kids' literature.
Yeah.
You deal with that on a whole other level, though, where you're dealing with a whole broad spectrum of age ranges and demographics for kids. What was that journey like for you then? Was that a learning curve?
It was a very steep learning curve that I had to get my running shoes on just to try and keep up. So when I started, I was only doing like 10, 11, 12 hours a week.
Right.
Just as a little bit of extra pocket money.
Yeah.
so I was dipping into a pond of who these authors were and what the big titles were. You know, all the classics were still there,
of course,
from my childhood, because they're classics for a reason.
Absolutely, yeah.
When the full-time offer was put in front of me, I'd been here 7 or 8 months.
Yeah.
So it wasn't so difficult as if I'd been dropped in.
Yeah.
Not knowing a thing.
You'd hit the ground running to a point, right? Yeah.
Yeah, sort of a stumble. But then I didn't fall over. I managed to pick myself, you know, that sort of a path that...
Yeah.
I was like, right, I've got to learn about this, I've got to learn about this. You know, it became
Totally.
very apparent very quickly what the popular titles were, because 2 months into my tenure here in 2023, Christmas arrived.
Sure, yeah.
So
it's a real insight as a bookseller, isn't it? Because the stuff you think is popular is way more popular than you realise as soon as it comes to Christmas. And also the stuff that is off-rate. Like, we have a list of stats on the system, and I don't know about you, we're both nerds, so you probably do also look at that list of stats. The weekly bestsellers, the monthly bestsellers. And at Christmas, that is such a fascinating list, isn't it?
It's like, it can be difficult to keep up. Because there's also so much new publishing sort of around, late October.
Absolutely,
mid to late October. I mean, we'll get like the Guinness Book of Records 2027 in August.
Yeah.
In September, they start sending through annuals.
Yeah. Well, that's it. You always send a text to the group chat about, oh, by the way, Christmas annuals have arrived, everyone, and people are on summer holidays.
In September, essentially, it is nuts. But, like, if you've got a passion for it, it's not a chore.
Absolutely.
You can't possibly cover everything.
No,
I mean, like,
you can't. Yeah.
When I had the young adult books on floor 2, they've moved down to first.
Yep.
None of those books are targeted at me.
No.
But colleagues who are younger than me reading these books, I listen to what they say.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because I know they're telling the truth.
Yep.
And then I can just use that knowledge to go, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. Because we sometimes get, oh, is this content suitable for a 13-year-old? And you go, well, actually, yeah, that is. And you can say that without it not being and getting into trouble.
Absolutely.
I would listen to them. So, you know, which is an important part of our jobs.
Absolutely, it is.
You know, get the knowledge off other people.
We're constantly leaning on the expertise of others as booksellers in the store, aren't we?
Standing on the shoulders of giants, as it were. So, but no, it's you can't, as long as you realise you can't possibly know everything. But then, you know, you surprise yourself sometimes. You know, I'll be walking around the shop, like tidying up, chatting to people, and you'll hear someone go, "Oh, what's?" I can't remember the author of that book. And you go, oh, what book? And they go, I don't know. And they go, like, Lottie Brooks. And you go, oh, it's Katie Kirby. It's just over there. Yeah. It's just there, waiting to be used.
Absolutely.
I've got quite a visual memory.
Yes.
I wouldn't call it what do they call it? Mind palace.
Yeah.
It's more like a mind rubbish dump.
Yeah.
But the stuff's there.
Yeah.
You know,
a mind hoarder's attic.
Mind hoarders, I love it. Yeah. That's like my storage.
Yeah. But like, I think I said in the previous episode, I'm a relatively new dad. My son is 2.5. You've met him. He's in the store all the time. He loves that floor.
He's cool.
Thank you. I think so. He thinks so. But it's through him, I'm rediscovering what is now new children's literature and picture books and stuff, and this isn't material I've engaged with for a long time. And we had a chat recently about how fantastic some of that new kids literature is. How it's pushing boundaries in terms of humour, in terms of subject matter. The book Don't Trust Fish.
Don't Trust Fish.
It is madcap humour in the style of Monty Python.
I totally agree.
Another recently that I picked up for him on your recommendation, the Lost Robot. By Todd-Stanton. And fantastic. Like, I was welling up towards the end of that book. I've been really caught off guard by just how rich a lot of that kids' material is, and it's perhaps to my detriment that I perhaps dismissed it prior to engaging with it. What have you found about engaging with that new, younger material that perhaps you didn't for a long time?
I wouldn't have
What surprised you about it?
The level of emotional depth.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
Like you saying about the Lost Robot, just then reminded me of a book I looked at a couple of weeks ago by an author called Harry Woodgate.
Yeah.
The Butterfly Garden.
Yeah.
And I wasn't ever dismissive of his work, but I'd never really looked at any of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I like the cover. You know, I got a quick flick. Oh, I like the artwork. The artwork's great. And I was properly welling up at the end of it.
Absolutely.
You know,
yeah.
Like,
but it's subtle as well, isn't it? It's not like, I think, sorry I interrupted you, but I think when I think of these kind of themes in kids' books, I think of it being like, oh, this is a book generally about grief. And so it's going to be a little bit sad and very kind of forced, but there's such nuanced work that really like captures the heart of what the theme is. Yeah. And I've been blown away that is available.
Yeah, I know.
in the kids section.
And there it is. And it's, you know, that kind of stuff. I mean, you don't sort of promote it any differently than anything else.
No.
But then you get your favourites and you can't help it.
Yeah. You know, such as for you?
At the moment, Monkeypig. Monkeypig.
We read Monkeypig to my son like 3 times a week. He loves it.
Yeah. I love that. I absolutely like the concept of this massive pig living with a bunch of monkeys. Yeah. And the monkeys don't notice. It's just like
and then they have suspcions that there may be a pig among them.
The chief monkey has suspicions,
absolutely,
doesn't he? Yeah. And they do monkey tests. I love it. I absolutely love it.
But it's as funny as it sounds. Like it doesn't talk. This is the best thing.
Somebody bought 2 copies earlier. On
really?
Yeah.
But I, as you know, I come from a theatrical background.
Yeah.
And I've done kids theatre, and the best work in any medium for kids is the stuff that doesn't patronise and doesn't condescend. And Monkeypig, despite what you said about the narrative, it doesn't condescend. No. It plays it straight. Yeah. Brilliant books.
I 100% agree. Like, you know, I picked up on this from working with kids for many years. Yeah. Don't talk down to them. Yeah. Because they'll have you. Yeah. Then that's not a reason to not talk down to them. The reason you don't talk down to them is because what you want and what I want when I was teaching and when I was like doing like tours and stuff is you want to bring them up. You want to bring them with you. Absolutely. They want to feel like the smartest person in the room. Yeah, and you know, you can do that. Like when I was doing the shows in the planetarium, if a kid said something ridiculous or that was blatantly not true, you don't go, no. You go, well, actually, if you look at it this way, and then they get the right answer. Absolutely. Everyone's fine, you know. Validate their effort, right? I mean, I've had people, like, I've had kids, I remember one specific one where the kid was about 9 or 10, I think they were like year 5. English wasn't his first language. Yeah. He's German. And he was asking me about spaghettification in black holes. Amazing. You know? Yeah, I know. Like, I don't know anything about that, Steve. In his second language. That's amazing. It was just like, I was like blown away, and then like, yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So we had a natter about it. Amazing. And I love it. And you get kids coming in here, and you can just see their eyes light up. Yeah. You know, we've got an activity table down there. You do, which is new, isn't it? That's quite. Yeah, that started at the beginning of half term. I'm going to keep it as long as possible, and then you know, if it does get moved around for something else, then we'll have it back over to summer holidays. Yeah, no doubt about it. And they love it, and some of that artwork is incredible. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally. Some of it's quite meta. Yeah. Like one kid got a Dogman colouring sheet and just wrote "Why" all over it. Why? But yeah, everything you're saying is just consistent with kind of the unabashed curiosity that kids have. And I'm seeing that reflected in the books too. And whenever I come to you and I'm saying, oh, Bowie's read this, what would you recommend? That's my son's name. What would you recommend next? Everything you pick out seems to be characterful and vibrant and creatively push kind of boundary pushing themes. Yeah. There's a lot of that out there. Absolutely, yeah. And is that a trend you've noticed? Is there more of that than there used to be, or is it just me rediscovering it? No, there's a lot more of it. And it's not just picture books as well. Yeah. See, that's my exposure currently. Yeah, exactly. So yeah. So when you'll get up into the 5 to 8 section. I mean, obviously, we've got to have. It has to be something. It can't just be what books are suitable for what age. So we have a 5 to 8 and we have a 9 to 12. But you know, they're crossovers. Some kids read higher levels. Some kids are a bit, you know, they pick it up a bit later. You know, you'll get 5 to 8s reading, you know, sort of what I'm thinking, like Tolkien, like the Hobbit, on their own, and wanting to,
absolutely,
which is great.
We get that on. I work primarily on the first floor for those listening, and that's the sci-fi, fantasy, horror, manga floor. We get kids there who are like 10, and they'll be like, "I've read Lord of the Rings. What next?" Yeah. I'm like, "What?" Whoa, yeah, like here's Brandon Sanderson. Off you go. Yeah. Here's Robin Hobb. Have fun.
Right. Yeah. Get him into some Arthur C. Clarke.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, your taste as a reader.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I mean, we talk a lot about Star Wars, and we acknowledge that we're space nerds.
Yeah.
Is that kind of the core of your personal reading taste as an adult? Is that what kind of stuff grabbed you as a young reader, and what was your journey with reading?
So when I remember my dad taking me to the library for the first time, because he was an avid, and still is, an avid reader.
Yeah.
He's dead easy to buy for. Always has been. But so I have distinct memory, whether I'm misremembering or not, I don't know. But the little plastic library cards, bearing in mind this was back in the 1970s,
right,
late 70s, he hastens to add.
Yeah, I was going to say, a real emphasis on late.
Yeah. It's like a little credit card sized plastic card, and one card was one book, and they were pink. And you go in, and then they look like, you get the book, and then there's a little folder with little slips in it with be that book, so that pink card in there, that means that book gone.
Right, okay.
You know, nothing was computerized because there
Absolutely
weren't any.
not, yeah.
And I remember that, and I was borderline obsessed with non-fiction.
Interesting.
So
okay.
I didn't really...
As a kid, that's fascinating. Interesting, okay.
Obviously, I had stories at school and bedtime when I was younger, but I wanted...
Facts.
I wanted facts.
You want to learn,
I wanted to learn. So, but there wasn't so much in the kids section that was factual. And then I did kind of like get my dad to get me some books out of like the adult bit. But I devoured the non-fiction section.
And was that mostly science-centric? Was that space? Yeah?
Yeah, mostly science and stuff. So I discovered early on that I loved astronomy and physics and maths. Chemistry to a certain extent, biology not so much. I mean, obviously that's silly to say you don't like biology, but I wasn't reading it. I was reading about space, and I still do.
What was it, or still is it, about the subject of space that intrigues you intellectually, but also from a creative perspective? Because again, Star Wars and sci-fi we're going to go on to in a bit. What is it about the theme of space that really draws you in narratively?
I'm bigging up my dad a lot here.
Yeah.
Which, you know, is fine because he's awesome. I had, and I don't remember where I got it from, but I had a really a tiny little telescope, and it was a refracting telescope.
Right.
Lenses, not mirrors. And it was only sort of about the tube of Pringles width, the lens. And I remember being out in the garden and like sharing it with my dad on a clear night, and he's just looking up, and he just said something along the lines of, "There's got to be a way out there." And I was just like, "Whoa, boom!"
Yeah.
You know? And then not long, sort of. So in 1986, so I would have been 15. Halley's Comet.
Sure. Yeah.
So I saved up my pocket money and my paper round money, and I bought an actual comet.
It's now Steve's comet.
Edmund Halley, be gone! No, I bought a telescope, Phil.
Yes, that makes more sense.
And would make my dad drive me to the middle of like dark sky. When I say made him, he was quite happy to come along.
Of course, yeah.
And we'd go and take the telescope and we'd go and look for Halley's Comet.
Amazing.
So I mean, I was just hooked.
Absolutely.
You know, like absolutely hooked. It's like finding your favourite band. Like the first time you ever listen to music.
It just changes your brain chemistry, doesn't it? And it's,
goodness me. Yeah. I mean, some of the stuff you read these days is just mind-blowing. Yeah. I mean, I said earlier I like maths. I've got this book I'm reading at the moment called Huge Numbers.
Yeah, you were telling me about this, but just for the sake of the podcast, because it was interesting.
It sounds silly because all you got to do is add 1 on to the number that you've just said, and strictly, yes, of course you do, but it's a lot about the concept of what maths is built on.
Yeah,
and then in the introduction, Robert Elwes, his name is. In the introduction, he says, "Think of the biggest threshold of numbers that you can possibly ever think exists. Like, just go beyond anything you could possibly ever imagine. There'll still be more numbers in front of you than there are behind you."
It's just, I love stuff like that. Yeah.
And it's just mind blowing, and it's mind blowing that non-fiction subjects can do that.
Yes. Yeah.
Fiction. I'm not saying it's any easier with fiction, but you can steer a reader towards the twist or the denouement that you've got in mind.
Yeah.
Whereas this is an actual thing that exists.
Absolutely.
And it is still mind blowing.
Yeah. But that's where sci-fi gets really interesting, because you take elements like that, like a thought like that or a concept like that, and you go, great, what's its narrative potential? Yeah. And suddenly you've got a whole sci-fi universe that you can write 17 books about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it sounds like, the thing that struck me is when you were talking about your dad and the telescope, it's like there's got to be a way out there.
Yeah.
And whenever we talk about literature, it sounds like whether it's non-fiction or not, you're drawn by what are the parameters and how do we push them.
Yeah.
And it's like what is beyond what is currently discoverable, knowing that in future it could be discoverable. Yeah. Right?
I can see that far. How do I see beyond that?
Absolutely.
How do I see, what are we expanding
and
into?
It's not even about understanding everything along the way. No. It's like, let's see how far it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it is.
And is that your draw, again, because you're a sci-fi reader, is that your draw into sci-fi, is seeing kind of where people can take that in an imaginative context?
Yes.
Yeah?
To a certain extent.
So from there, how did you get into sci-fi?
Hitchhikers.
I knew you'd say Hitchhikers.
Hitchhikers.
Yeah.
Like late 70s.
Yeah.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I read the books first. In fact, when I started reading them, I think there were only 2, maybe 3.
Right.
So I read them, and then I can't remember how I got hold of the radio plays.
Yeah.
Which was first.
Which are brilliant.
Because
that was my way into Hitchhikers as a kid. My brother already had the tapes.
Right.
But we had like a multicoloured, like almost metallic looking tape set of 6 or 7 cassette tapes of the BBC radio dramas.
Yeah, I've got that.
Obsessed. Absolutely obsessed. And again, I think like we talked about altering brain chemistry.
Yeah.
I vividly remember sitting with my little tape deck, tape player, boombox thing, and I remember listening to them like religiously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it about Hitchhikers for you that blew the doors off?
I'd already had a liking for sci-fi at that point.
Yeah.
And I was genuinely a big fan of the radio.
Yeah.
Because I love my tunes as well, as you know.
Yeah, we talk a lot about music. Yeah.
So, it was eminently discoverable.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I just must have stumbled across it one day. It's like, whoa, hello. What's this?
What is this?
Because I think I remember reading something that he said. He wanted it to be, he didn't want it to be pedestrian.
Yeah.
Like pretty much, radio fiction was not bland. I'm not denigrating it.
No, of course. But it was of a sort, wasn't it?
It was of a sort. It was very much one species.
Yeah.
Whereas he wanted rock and roll.
Yeah.
And he got it.
Yeah, totally.
And he, the perfectionism behind that is just incredible. I was waiting to talk to someone on your floor a couple of weeks ago, and Hitchhiker's Compendium was there, and I just picked it up and just started reading the first page again. Because I've not read them for probably the best part of a decade.
Right.
And I was just like, oh my goodness me, this is good.
Isn't it brilliant?
It's like, wow, this is, and then I was even talking about someone the other day. It not only is it a massively important piece of literature.
Yes.
20th century sci-fi, worldwide.
Yeah.
Douglas Adams essentially invented the internet and the smartphone.
Absolutely.
In that within the first 10 pages of that book.
Totally. To the point where even like the famous translating tool online, it's called, is it Babel.com, isn't it?
Yeah,
after the Babel fish, which is something from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
And the Tower of Babel
Yeah.
was the biblical story
Yeah.
about people being assigned different languages.
Yeah. It's such still inspirational work, because similar to you, it is something I occasionally pick up and flick through on the store. And I think it's such... Like, as a bookseller, it's a dream, because
really
you
is.
can sell that book or encourage people to check out that book
And
based on its humour,
Yeah.
based on its philosophy,
Yeah.
based on its sense of humanity,
Yeah.
based on its relevance to culture today,
It's still.
based on its like humour that again echoes things like Monty Python and Blackadder. Like it's so
Well,
it's for every audience, isn't it?
He worked with Python a little bit, didn't he?
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like briefly, and then
Right.
also he wrote some episodes of Doctor Who.
See, I didn't know that. I'm not a Whovian, so I didn't know that. Yeah.
No, I know all this because of my mate who is. I would, I said borderline obsessed by space. He is obsessed by Doctor Who.
He is space.
yeah. So, but he knows all those things. But
so Douglas Adams was a big in for you.
Douglas Adams was a huge influence, not only in, what is out there to read, because there wasn't that much then.
Mm-hmm.
I did discover. Sort of not long after that, I discovered an author called Robert Rankin.
Oh, I loved Robert Rankin as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trout Mask Replica was one of the first books I bought with my own money.
Yeah. So, but his Brentford series.
Right.
The first one's called The Antipope, and then you've got the Brentford Triangle, and then there's East of Ealing.
Yeah.
There's about 5 or 6 of them, I think, now. And the first one is incredible. The second one is funnier. It's shorter, but it's a lot funnier, and it is so utterly madcap.
Is it?
Yeah, it is just nuts. But I discovered him not long after I discovered Douglas Adams.
Right.
And
they're of a kind, actually.
Yeah.
There's I can see the through line between the two.
Well, he's local as well.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Brighton based. Okay.
Yeah,
I might try and get him on the podcast.
You know what? I'm not just. I bumped into him the other day. He was sat.
You were stood outside his house, weren't you, Steve?
Yeah. You've seen the reports.
I have, yeah.
He was sat outside the theatre holding a tuba or something.
Of course he was.
Of course he was.
Of course he was.
I was walking past and I was like, I've been reading your book since the mid-'80s. He's literally there.
Amazing. And you said hi?
I was like, I'm going to kick myself. So I went over and said, Mr. Rankin, I'm a big fan. My name's Steve. And he was so lovely.
Brilliant.
So lovely. And I said, you've got anything on the go? I mean, I'm trying to write the new book, but I think maybe I've written all the books that I've been allowed to write. Subsequently, he has finished
expert level
now.
writer's block, basically.
Yeah. But I saw a post he did the other day. He's finished it now.
Yeah.
But he was so lovely.
And would you, for listeners who I imagine, if they've not read it, they'll be very familiar with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
For people who are looking for more of that tone, would you recommend Robert Rankin? Is that something?
I absolutely would.
Yeah.
I'd keep it away from little kids because there's some spicy language.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Especially in the Brentford Triangle. But if you want something, I mean, for anyone who's ever read like Flann O'Brien, Third Policeman, or W.E. Bowman, The Ascent of Rumdoodle, which has just been reprinted. It was written in about 52, and it's like a pastiche of Edmund Hillary climbing Everest.
Right.
And it is just hilarious because it's all very sort of like, public school boys. Hello, chaps. Who's carrying the wine up to the summit?
Let's climb Everest.
Yes. Who's got the piano? And it's just hilarious. And he comes from that school of just nonsense writing. Spike Milligan would be another one I would.
Yeah, absolutely.
Terry Pratchett as well.
Of course. See, I'm really getting the through line of that sense of humour. That is obviously really important to you in terms of narrative. The thing I love about the use of humour, and I love it even in horror, and I love it in fantasy, when the higher the stakes and the more peril someone is in, the more people should rely on a self-depreciating, nervous sense of humour.
Yes.
I think it's one of the most human coping mechanisms that there actually is.
It's a coping mechanism.
And I also think it's an amazing Trojan horse for more serious messages.
Yeah.
Because it disarms you as a reader, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting to me that everything you've mentioned so far has that pervasive sense of humour in it.
Yeah. Bill Hicks.
Yes.
Yeah. So I read one of his biographies, and he said the best way of getting a serious idea into someone is make them laugh.
Yeah.
So their mouths are open, and then you can just shove
the
it
message
straight into it. So, which kind of echoes what you echoed that in what you just said.
Fair, absolutely. Yeah,
like,
me and Bill Hicks, on a level, clearly.
Like that. Bezies. Phil and Bill sitting in a tree.
So, Douglas Adams, Robert Rankin.
Yeah, definitely.
What have you picked up lately? Are there any newer releases that have caught your eye that you particularly love?
I now read quite a lot of 5 to 8 and 9 to 12. Because like we were saying earlier, it's of an extremely high quality.
Yeah, and it's not just to be familiar with the material around you. You genuinely love these books.
Genuinely like these books. Genuinely love these books. I mean, I'll give you like 3 examples.
Please, yeah.
All of which came out last year, 2025.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got Wildlands by Brogan Murphy.
Yeah.
Which is an astonishing debut. The quality of the writing is just way out there in the stratosphere.
And that's 9 to 12?
9 to 12.
Yeah.
They were an ecologist before becoming a writer.
Yeah.
So it's about rewilding, essentially. It's set slightly in the future, and a lot of the north of England has been given over to a rewilding project because basically human beings have not
done what humans being
not been very good to nature. So no one's allowed in there. It's illegal to go in there, and there's a buffer zone that people sort of like walk around to make sure that everything's all right inside, but no one is allowed to go in there.
Sure.
But there's a railway line that runs through the middle of it, goes from London to Glasgow. Right. So the 2 girls, the main protagonists, they're going to visit their mums in Edinburgh or Glasgow. So the train goes from London to wherever it is, Edinburgh or Glasgow.
Yeah.
So one of their mums is actually the person who's running the rewilding project.
Oh, amazing! Cool.
There's a few other themes that run through it, but mainly, for reasons I won't go into, the girls get stuck, and the train goes without them. So and then they have to use their wits to get out of the woods. The mobile phone obviously dies. They've got no food. They've got no water. They've got like no first aid.
Right.
One of them's like 12 or 13, the other one's 8 or 9, so she becomes like in charge, obviously the older one, and it's just about how they get from like finding out where they are, what direction they're going in, discovering all these things that are there. So they come across like abandoned villages,
amazing,
and then like an old abandoned house that's got this huge apple tree in it.
It sounds almost like pseudo dystopian, truthfully. Like it's it
is kind of within the boundaries of the project. It's an incredible read. It ends like I said to my colleague on the floor. I said to Alex, because she read it as well. I said, if someone's not writing a screenplay for this right now, do you want me and you could do it? It would be a brilliant film or a Netflix series, or Disney Plus or something. It's astonishing, and I got really disappointed the other day because the sequel was supposed to come out in December and it's been put back to next February. It's just like...
And you are waiting for it.
Literally like... putting like, fingerprints in the wood in the desk. That just blew me away.
Yeah.
Absolutely blew me away.
I remember you talking about it at the time.
Yeah.
But again, a really great way to a younger readership to introduce really key themes about in the environment and the damage we do and pollution and rewilding and themes you wouldn't necessarily associate with literature for kids, right? Like
9 to 12-year-old literature for kids. Yeah, absolutely. And
it's fantastic.
Like we were saying earlier, at no point is anyone talked down to or patronised. Yeah. It's not like, I'll pat you on the head.
Yeah.
The burly soldiers will come and find you.
The adults will fix it.
The adults will fix it, even though the adults broke it in the first place.
Absolutely,
that was one. And then 2 other ones. So when my kids were little, I discovered the Claude books by Alex T. Smith.
Right.
Which we devoured. And then I discovered that he'd written a book for 9 to 12s called Murder by Narwhal.
Oh,
which
okay.
it's quite a unit of a book, and it just made me laugh and laugh and laugh
Right.
all the way through it. It's like the main protagonist again is a 12-year-old girl who on the cover is wearing an eye patch, but that's never mentioned. Fine.
Just likes it for the vibes
Yeah,
it gives
yeah,
off, clearly, yeah.
Her best mate is electively mute, but for reasons that we find out as the narrative unfolds.
Okay.
And then she's got a pet tortoise called Charles Darwin,
Brilliant.
who wears a bobble hat
Amazing.
and refuses to do the washing up.
I mean,
You know,
just, yeah.
ideas.
I'm in.
Fizz, bang, bang,
Yeah,
bang,
totally.
bang. There's a second one coming out in October, but it's different characters, but it's in the same
Right.
universe kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's
But
incredible.
it sounds so vibrant.
Yeah,
and,
it is.
Yeah.
Every page is kind of like bubbling away, and you know, and you're like, oh, what's next? Where are they going? Don't do that.
Yeah.
It's called Murder by Narwhal, but the guy
Amazing.
that gets murdered, and that's the crime that she attempts to solve,
Yeah.
and indeed does in a way that is so nuts. But he's horrible.
Right,
Like,
okay.
his horrible granddad, blah, 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 head of the company, blah, 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 blah. And then he gets like murdered in a locked room, a room that's locked from the inside or the outside. I can't remember which one it was. So yeah, that's a
Amazing.
cracking.
Cool.
Then my third 9 to 12 recommendation would be a book called Grimstink
Grimstink.
by
Okay.
a guy called Daniel Peake,
Okay.
who was a TV writer, TV comedy writer,
Mhm.
and like dipped his toe in. And hopefully he's going to dip more toes in, because it is just a work of art.
Is
This
it really?
thing, it is the funniest thing I read last year.
Oh, amazing.
I mean, the Grimacres one, the Narwhal one, is brilliant.
Yeah.
Like the way that the plot twists around feed into a lot of the laughter. This one is just littered with slapstick gags.
Oh my god, cool. Right.
And it's like a brother and a sister, and then an alien, but he looks like a boy.
Yeah.
He's called Grimstink, son of Grimstink.
Amazing.
And he gets transported from his planet, and she accidentally gets transported to his planet.
Oh, okay.
And
Right.
she has to try and work out
How to survive
Earth's
that.
going
Yeah.
on.
Fair. Or not on it.
Meets
No.
people, and that Grimstink hooks up with her brother, who's the other main character, and it alternates between her and him, like in the chapters, like how he's getting on with what he's doing, and he's totally inept, and gets into all sorts of like ridiculous situations.
Yeah.
So, like there's a bit where they end up on the roof of an Aldi at one point. And then like the kid's hungry, so they go into a Subway, and like as in the sandwich shop.
Yeah, yeah.
And it is just, I was reading it in the break room, and there was one other of our colleagues in there, and I was laughing so much
Amazing.
that she put her book down and just went, what are
What
you
is
reading?
yeah. You did that as well. I remember being in the staff room with you about a year ago when you were reading Maggoty Skull.
Oh God,
What's the full
Maggoty
title?
Skull, the
Curse
Curse of Maggoty Skull, and then the second one's called The Beast Beneath, Martin Howard.
You were reading that in the break room.
Yeah.
I think then Myrtle picked it up.
That's a joy.
I think Alex then picked it up.
Yeah.
And it
Henry's
just went
read
round
it.
the shop. Henry read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just went round the shop like wildfire.
Yeah.
We're all reading this 9 to 12 book that is
Yeah.
genuinely, absolutely hysterical.
Totally hysterical. The skull, Maggoty Skull. So on the front cover, he's got a big wig on, so he essentially agrees to help Mallory Vale find the ghosts of her parents. It's funnier than it sounds.
Yeah.
And she has to buy him a fabulous wig. And I
Yeah.
always say to people, he wouldn't be out of place on the judging panel for Strictly Come Dancing. And then I met the author. Do you remember
Oh,
he
you
came
did?
in?
I don't remember that, no.
He came in, and I took him down to Middle Street School.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, you literally are the living embodiment of Maggoty Skull."
Did he say that to you?
And a kid, I sort of got that pretty quickly. And then a kid in the school said, "Where do you come up with the idea for this?" And he went, "He's living rent-free in my brain for about 4 years, so I had to write his story." And I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's still there."
That's amazing.
So yeah, there's a second one, The Beast Beneath, Beast Below, and then the third one comes out very soon.
Amazing.
I asked him what it was about, and he wouldn't tell me.
Yeah. But this is
didn't
the
think he
thing,
would.
we've got a shop full of adult booksellers.
Yeah.
Who, again, it's not just reading it to familiarise with the kids' literature because you have to try and sell it to kids or to recommend it to families or what. It's not just familiarisation with stock. You're reading it and others are reading it out of choice because it's genuinely brilliant.
Really good.
And again, as I'm discovering with the picture books, which are age appropriate for my son currently, the stuff there that I read, that's an absolute joy. And
it really is.
It's really nice that we have this culture in our shop of sharing the excellent stuff we're encountering, whether it's fiction or horror or non-fiction or kids stuff. And it's all taken so seriously because it deserves to have the respect that is of the time and efforts that is put into it. It's artistically so viable and brilliant. And it's really nice that you're there on the second floor championing it in the way you do. You're recommending it to us other booksellers, and I think the authors and publishers of those books would be grateful for you taking the time to rep it to us in the way you do. Cause
I managed to get hold of Daniel Peake, the guy that wrote the Grimstink. I just emailed the publisher going, I need you. Can you please get a message to him saying how good I thought it was? And they must have given him the email address because he wrote back to me going, "Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
Amazing.
If I didn't live so far away, I'd come and stand next to the till and help you sell it," or something like that. It was like.
Just a quick thing, because we're going to be wrapping up soon, and I'll need a recommendation from you as I get from everyone. You've given tons of recommendations. But I want to touch very quickly on something that I think gets skipped over quite a lot, which is illustration. And I think, again, I'm in picture book land with my son, right? But I'm looking at how to grow a dragon, and how to grow a mermaid. Rachel Morrisroe, I think, is the author, but Stephen Lenton is the illustrator,
local guy.
And he's been in touch on the socials and stuff with the store. And he's one example of work that is so vibrant, so eye-catching, but also captures the heart of the story that is written alongside it. You know a lot more about those books than I do. You're around them daily. Talk to me a little bit about the value of illustration in kids' books. It kind of goes without saying, but what is your connection to it?
It's so important, whether it's an author-illustrator. If it's an author-illustrator, they can see, they've got a vision of what they want.
They're already familiar with it,
But if it's an author and a separate illustrator, I guess you have to be more careful with who you pair with who.
Totally,
There's a local illustrator called Neela I, who is fantastic, and she's got her first proper book coming out soon. But she did loads of illustrations for Benjamin Zephaniah's poetry.
Oh, sure, right.
People want people. Is that the one? Yeah. But anyway, perfect fit.
Absolutely.
Whereas somebody like Huw Aaron, who wrote Monkeypig. The illustrations are so frantic.
Absolutely.
It wouldn't fit a Benjamin Zephaniah program. So
I just think it's such an easily overlooked part of it, though, right? But then you're sat with a kid reading it. My son, in my example, and he's so drawn to what he's seeing while taking. They go hand in hand. And it's really. I even find myself guilty in the shop of recommending kids' books. And I recommend them by author.
Don't feel guilty about that.
Yeah, but I recommend them by author. And I give so little in the moment credit to the illustrators who are inseparable from that material,
They are, totally. They're as much of a creative force as the person who's
absolutely
created the words, because they might have something in their head that they want, and this other person who's not connected to their brain has to put that down on paper with coloured inks and lettering
and
all that kind of stuff. I'm slightly biased because my paternal uncle is an artist.
Oh, sure.
And has been his whole life. He introduced me really early doors to Fungus the Bogeyman.
Oh man, my uncle gave me that as a kid.
So my uncle and your uncle,
brilliant.
Primarily because of the artwork.
Totally.
Which is just mind-bogglingly forensic detail. That's Raymond Briggs. Yeah. So I always recommend that, but you need to be a slightly older kid because there's a lot of information in that book.
But it's kind of like the predecessor of Sleep Tight, Disgusting Blob.
Yes.
I don't think one exists without the other influence. No.
So one of my favourite bits in Sleep Tight, Disgusting Blob was where they're going through all the different things that are going to bed. It's the vampire one.
Brushing his teeth.
Vampire brushing his teeth.
Yeah.
But all you can see is the toothbrush.
Yeah.
In the mirror.
Yeah. It's great detail, isn't it?
That is superb.
It's superb detail.
And it's bits in Donut Squad as well.
Yeah.
Like one of the donuts was walking past something, and there's like a Leonard Cohen poster on the wall behind it. It's like random.
Yeah. but exists in the same
brilliant.
world. So,
yeah.
So we need to wrap it up, partly because we're at the time for the podcast to end, but we're also about to close the shop.
We are about to close the shop.
We are recording in a functioning, open working shop.
Yeah, we ran away.
So no, but it's been really nice chatting to you.
Mate, I've loved it. I could go on.
You've given so many generous recommendations, but I did warn you beforehand.
Yeah.
I ask every bookseller, and I ask authors now as well.
Yeah.
One book that you can recommend can be anything across the gamut of literature.
Yeah.
What's a book you want our readers to pick up without fail?
Funnily enough, we were doing a bit of training earlier this morning, and as a wild card to sort of show people, I picked out Justine Gerda's Sophie's World.
Oh, fantastic!
Which I read many years ago, like not long after it came out.
Yeah,
it's basically a book about philosophers, but done in such a spellbinding way.
Yeah,
it's just this girl's journey into these lives of these philosophers, like from before modern era up to sort of like the middle of the 20th century. There's a twist in the middle that, you know, if you were sat on a swivel chair, you'd probably start moving round. It is just nuts. And then it's almost like she goes halfway through a journey to a peak and then has to, like, you know, ascend and then descend, but the descendant is as important as the ascent. So and we've got copies in the shop.
We do, we always do actually, because it does sell. There's a constant intrigue about that title.
I mean, I don't know whether that's partly to do with me going, can we get some copies of this, because it's brilliant. And then I wrote a little shelf rec
the
thing.
Power of a bookseller, though. If we get behind something, we have the power in store to recommend more of it coming in, to ask our buyers to get more in, and to push it. And that's one of the joys of our job, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, some things I talk about and the hairs on the backs of my arms stand up still.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then they know I'm not fibbing to them. Just the hock units.
So Sophie's World from Steve, that is one to absolutely go out of your way to pick up. Again, Steve, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you for inviting me.
It's been a pleasure. Well, you can come back again, obviously.
I'd love to,
But thank you so much, and I'll see you on the shop floor.
Nice one.
Bye.
Bye.